To some extent, we should care, but it's easy to get caught up in our own thoughts about ourselves that we forget to listen and to be present and to pay attention to anything happening outside of ourselves.
So I wanted to do a little video today as a screen record looking at a YouTuber called Lana Blakely. I hope I got her name right. She's got wonderful content I really like. She's almost got like this minimalist vibe about her channel, like loads of nice clean light colors. What I wanted to get at is the fact that Lana Blakely is very much an introvert. She's done videos about her introversion, what it means for her, how she deals with things in life around that, around social anxiety, around everything that might worry us as introverts, right? And how we bring that into our everyday work. The angle I want to go at today is the fact that feeling comfortable on camera and having confidence in life, these are things that I look at Lana as an introverted character, and I think she does this really, really well. She holds herself in her authenticity really well on camera, like really, really well. And we're going to dive straight into it so you can see what I mean. But there's two angles here. When you're watching it, have a look at how you think she feels as a communicator on the camera, how she's coming across in her comfort zone. And she's talking about being a confident person, so there's a really nice link here between the two. So we're going to go to one of her videos. It's easy things that made me a confident person.
You know what it's like to get caught up in thoughts like, what do I sound like? What are my hand gestures signaling? Am I being weird? How do I look? It's just a bunch of I. And look, caring about how we're being perceived is human nature.
So what I really like here is she's directly forward in towards the camera. She's confident enough to come into the camera and present. She's talking about this, right? Confidence is about how we use our hand gestures, our body language, how we communicate with other people. And as creators, as quiet creators, look at Lana, look at how she has this really soft yet engaging and passionate way of explaining things. And the eye contact as well. She's really, really focused in on speaking to you as an individual through that lens. It's really powerful and it's not easy to do, especially if you're more of a shy person. It's so cool.
And to some extent, we should care, but it's easy to get caught up in our own thoughts about ourselves that we forget to listen and to be present and to pay attention to anything happening outside of ourselves.
So, confidence on camera, confidence in real life. She's talking about listening, engaging, getting away from the internal thoughts to the external environment. As introverts, we do live in that internal environment, right? That little internal world. And she's talking about in real life how she gets out there, engages, and has to really listen to what other people are saying and being able to communicate and engage in that way. It's exactly the same on camera. As introverted presenters, as quiet creators, it's so valuable that we remember there's an individual behind the camera. There's an individual behind that screen, and to talk to you as another human being, it's really powerful, right? I love that about her. So we're going to move forward. She talks here about shifting her focus outwards, about not internalizing. We're going to get onto body language, because I really like this.
Good posture, and I know this is the obvious one, but I really had to put it in here. It's not only necessary to give a good impression to others, but on yourself too. Did you know that your posture matters even when you're sitting down? As in, an upright posture can give you confidence in your own thoughts. Body language.
I had to sit back then. I had to sit back and go, oh yeah, okay, my sitting down posture is important. So she's just genuinely like, really, really engaging and saying, hey, I know that my posture and my body language is important. In the video, I've seen it before, she goes through these examples of what it might look to walk hunched over compared to what it might look being open. But equally, how does it feel? And because she's very aware of how she sits, how she presents herself, how she opens up and engages with the camera, it brings confidence to her and it makes her feel comfortable to the point where she's happy coming into the camera and actually saying things to you as an individual. And that's like this journey she's been on about building confidence and how her body language has helped that. Because if we're inward thinking, internalizing, everything can go down. But it's about opening up and trusting in what we have to share. I really like that. I really like that. Okay, she just talks about smelling good. I'm not going to talk about that, but it's cool. Okay, small talk. Here we go.
Getting better at small talk may be the biggest one for me on this list, and actually learning to enjoy it. So I truly value human connection, and I'm genuinely interested in people, but striking a conversation with people is not something that has come natural to me until I got a dog. I would say that I probably social.
I love how she just throws in, until I got a dog. As a dog lover, I've walked a lot of dogs in my time. I know exactly what she means. So she's talking about how to interact with people. And I've got a video, and I'll put a link into it here, about myths people have about introverts. Not number one, but one of them is that they believe we can't talk or we don't engage in talk. And I kind of like said that it's about the small talk, the difference. Small talk is really tough. As introverts, small talk is so difficult. It's kind of like saying to an extrovert, hey, just sit and be still for an hour. We're just going to sit and we're going to enjoy each other's company, but we're not going to talk. And see how the challenge is for them, right? It's the same. So she's talking about the importance of how she got out there and learnt to just make these little micro differences in her life. Getting a dog helped her to go out and to engage in people, to stop in the street and say hi to another dog walker. Although quite often you end up talking to the dog and not to the owner, but it's worked for her for sure. But again, I love how she feels comfortable enough on camera right here to just be throwing in those little cheeky, until I got a dog, and she just feels comfortable enough to share that with you through the lens, through the camera as the audience. And again, we throw those things away, right? But if we're worried about being on camera and we don't feel comfortable in our own skin, in our presence, in our environment, then actually putting those little throwaway lines in that are important to us as individuals, right? It's not important to you to hear about her dog, but it brings a smile to her face and she's comfortable enough to do that. That's really important, and that's really powerful. I got one more I want to share. Where is it? Doing my homework. Here we go. Useful to others.
Presence or competence in our input matters. Humans have a need to be needed. We want to feel like we're contributing. We don't want to feel like an extra that could easily be switched out. In my opinion, or as much as I've been able to think of it thus far, we make ourselves useful by being competent, which speaks for itself, but also by assuming responsibility. So, silly examples.
So one thing I look at when I'm looking at this little clip is she's thinking and she's presenting, and as she's thinking, she's using her hands because it brings up memories of how important it is for her to contribute, to be of use to somebody, to something, to a project, to an individual. And she's looking up because she's thinking. And again, I'm no psychologist, but if you look at videos on YouTube from psychologists, they'll say that if you look up and to the right or something, you're recalling a memory, and if it's the other way around, you're creating an idea that's not actually reality, or something like that. But she's thinking back, right? It looks to me like she's thinking about a time where she actually had use and it gave something of value. And then it brings her into this moment of feeling really confident about her as an individual because she contributed something. And I just want to leave it there because as introverts or quiet creators, sometimes because we're internal thinkers, right? a lot of us. I have this downfall is that if I internalize too much, I sometimes forget about the importance of what I have to share because I'm overthinking and analyzing things. So if we can bring that into the present, if we can bring those thoughts into the now as creators and go, I want to contribute something to the greater good, right? It sounds corny, it sounds cheesy, but it is about the greater good because I believe that I have something to share with you, with the community. And if it's of use to somebody, if it brings value to somebody, then it brings comfort to me because it's really important to me to be able to share things. And so that's what I get from this through Lana, is that over her journey over 4 years, she's become really, really comfortable in who she is and what she stands for, and knowing that those little bits of vulnerability that she shares on camera to her audience, to you, she knows it's of value. And so she trusts that what she has to offer, the way that she presents in her own way, and that she's comfortable with that, it has value. And so she's confident in what she can offer. And that's what I took from seeing some of her videos. I just think they're fantastic. If you haven't already heard of Lana Blakely, do jump on. I'll put a link in the video below, in the description. And do check her out because she does some awesome content. She's got some really good ones actually about social anxiety. And there's 2 videos, one from 4 years ago and one from like 3 months ago, of her journey with social anxiety. And for me, that's a huge thing. Maybe it is for you as well. Like, let me know, do you deal with social anxiety as well? And yet you're a quiet creator? The two don't seem to go together, do they? So anyway, check her out. Make sure that's one thing you might do today, and go and subscribe to her because she's awesome. She's got so much value, so much to offer, so much input that we can take from it. So check her out. I'll see you in the next video and we'll do some more reactions because I love this stuff. All right, have an awesome day.